Hi, this is Dee, and I felt compelled to do another reading, at least one, probably more. Um, Here is the reading from the 7th that I actually released on the 9th. And I wanted to go back up over a couple of things really quick. The first time I did the reading, and I didn't mention this yesterday, so I want to mention it now. There's a couple of points here. First of all, when I saw this, the isolation and just the general picture in the background here, I kept getting Alaska in my head. You know, it's cold, ice, looks like Arctic tundra in the summer, right? This picture here. And I kept thinking, Alaska, Alaska. Well, the they were telling me something there. It had everything to do with that card. Today it came to me after dreams last night. They wanted me to go back over the cards a little bit with you guys because I left out a couple of points. And it wasn't because I missed them. It's just when I redid the video, I just didn't talk about them the second time. So I'm going to start this reading with the end of the last one. And what's another name for Alaska? Anybody know? Can you guess? What's another name for Alaska? Because I kept hearing Alaska, Alaska, Alaska every time I looked at those two cards. Seeing through the illusion, right? Reading between the lines. Seeing the forest through the trees, right? This card. Seeing the forest through the trees. Alaska. It's another name. What has it been coined? The Great Divide. Alaska, the Great Divide. Right? That card talked about the Great Divide between the domesticated, programmed dog and the ones, the wild ones that go on their instinct. And the divide that's created between them because of shot or no shot for the virus, right? So I wanted to point that out. Another thing I wanted to point out, the captor card. Remember I said this feels like checkmate. It also feels like people possibly being forced, coerced into having to have the vaccination because of mandates being handed down. Those two clarifier cards, the Emperor and that 10 of, is it Cups or Pentacles? Anyway, out of the Steampunk deck. Shows a mandate being handed down. What's really fascinating is they had me go look at the news. And I did. And one of the titles for one of the articles is Pushback Against Inslee Vaccine Order Are they going to strap people to gurneys? Question mark. And it's talking about Governor Jay Inslee's new order mandating all state employees, healthcare and long-term care workers get COVID-19. Also, the military issuing a mandate. Are they going to force them? Strap them down to gurneys? Checkmate. Here's the thing. And I just had a debate with my son about his new job. He doesn't want to take a shot. That's his free will, his free choice. But if his employer requires it for him to remain employed, he's at a quandary. Those people in the military are at a quandary. Those healthcare workers are at a quandary. According to the article, there's labor unions and stuff getting involved trying to stop this. Lady Justice was in that reading multiple times from yesterday. Anyway, it felt very checkmate. And that's, where I talked about that one card looking like families being pushed to the edge. Well, here's the thing. So, forcing them to get a vaccination to continue almost feels like not extortion, but coercion. And the family's being pushed to the edge. Imagine you're in a household where everybody's gotten their vaccination, but there's one holdout. For whatever reason that holdout has. Whether it's a religious reason, it's against the religion to do those shots. They see through the illusion of the New World Order and what they're trying to do. What's really going on. So, they're bound by the threads of fate. It's checkmate. So, say you have that situation. This is tearing families apart. They're using the media to peer pressure. They're using the employers to peer pressure. And it is coercion. On a grand scale, I might add. Of the likes that's never been seen on the planet, because this is planet-wide. Evidently, France is really bucking. Good for you, France. Keep it up. Everybody, stand in your power. Remember, here's the thing. Down here, just a few cards, because I always like to sneak a peek at this. See, there's Lady Justice. I like to sneak a peek at the underlying Empress, the goddess, Mother Earth, the mothers of this planet. 10 of Wands. There's a couple of firm meanings with this card. This is overburdened and setting down your burdens. But this is unduly carrying the burden of others because they're trying to infringe upon free will. And this is also another heads up. Is this a divine trial or divine assistance? What did I say about it being a divine trial? It's a divine trial. Bank on it. You got to get a higher, wider perspective over what's going on here. This card. Operate outside of and in contention with the established rules of institution. Duet days. Give that you may give. Or receive that you may give. Or vice versa. Karam Dio. You are in the presence of God. That's the world. The world in this quandary, right? Weighing the hearts against a feather. It's a divine trial. 100. No doubt about it. Oh, something else I forgot to show you. When cards repeat in other decks when you're doing a reading, there's a reason. Remember, these are the two cards. The Emperor. I was like, clarify what's going on here. The Emperor, there's them giving the mandate, and this is the mandate getting handed down. Families on the edge. See the governmental building in the background. Looks like Washington, D.C., does it not? Or state capitals? Yeah, because that's what the F. They're pushing them to the edge, to the brink. To the brink. The community. A repeater. Right underneath. Oh, what do we have here? Stuck like Chuck? Repeater. Oh, and what do we have here? The World card. Repeater. This is the shit made of nightmares. Your worst nightmares coming to reality. 100%. This is the shit that's going to keep you up at night. If you let it. If you come to the realization that this is a divine trial, you can peacefully back off and stay in love and keep on trudging like nothing's going on. Ignore it. It's the best of your capability and stay in innocence. People try to block your path. Just kindly smile. Say thank you, but no thank you. Keep walking. Eight of Cups, that crap. Okay, so this is the thing made of nightmares for who? Queen of Earth. Also very much, the energy is very similar to the Empress energy that's down here, the burdened one. Yep, she's a high priestess, all right. Page of Swords. Learning the truth. These are messengers. Okay? Learning the truth. About the past. 6 Cups. I could go on and on and on about how they're withholding from you all. And the strategy that you guys must employ. So here's the thing. I was just sitting around talking to my husband and others about this whole situation. And, yeah. The nightmares that keep you up at night. Okay. That was the final card down. So back that way. Like I said, I always put the cards back. OCD. Don't know. It's a thing. It's interesting how those cards came out. And when you get repeaters like that out of more than one deck, You better pay attention. Yep, yep. I'm paying attention. Are you? I hope so. What's the strategy? Love is the strategy. The reading told us about that. Love prevents the spread of the virus. Keep in mind, coronavirus, crown, head. It's a mind virus. Okay? Keep that in mind. A virus of the mind. Virus of the mind. Anyway, here's the thing. So, if the reports are correct, and we just have to go off that because that's all we know, because the mass media liars do like to inflate figures and fudge things just a little bit. Those white lies just, yeah, keep on a-coming. Anyway, so supposedly half the population, the Great Divide, the obedient, trained ones, have gotten their shot. The wild, untamed beasts using their instincts are going, oh, hell no. You aren't jabbing me with that crap because I know way too much about you to trust that. So, you have the Great Divide, Alaska, the Great Divide. Told you they use the pictures to talk to me. Yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. So here's the quandary. What's our strategy? First of all, love. Overcome with love. Walk away from everything possible as far as avoid conflict. Now, I had a fairly good debate with my son. He gets frustrated and starts to walk away from me. Then he steps back in. And we finish that debate. And at the end of the debate about all this, now keep in mind, he doesn't want the shot. At the end of the debate, I told him I love him unconditionally, no matter what. No matter what. And that's where everybody seems to be failing, especially the mothers. Because if the mothers really stepped into their power and went back into their heart space, all of this would stop. All of it. It would all stop. Because everybody has free will and free choice. These guys had the free will to take that shot, and these guys had the free will not to. And ergo the checkmate, stalemate. How do you solve that? Love. 100%. It's a divine trial. The divine wants to see what you're made of. Yep. Will you pass the test? Like I said, based on the comment sections and stuff and people's opinions, and like I said, the venom that was coming, wow. Now keep in mind, a lot of that's flamed and fueled by the media, of course. That's what they do. Yeah. Sometimes in these situations where things are dire or seem that way, it's better to walk away from them too. Because you're not getting the truth anyway. I will tell you this, where I live, the people here ain't falling for it. They are on this side of the divide. Yep, they're on that side of the divide. It's the Wild West. And they ain't putting up with no bullshit. And they don't trust the government. I can tell you that. Yeah. It's interesting because hardly anybody here wears a mask. You hardly ever see one. The only ones that have to wear them are the employees at establishments because it's mandated by the government. More mandates. Is it a law? No, it's a mandate. So technically, they don't have to follow it if they don't want to. Technically. hmm But here, in all the rest of the state, COVID cases are on the rise. hmm But where I live, nobody's wearing a mask. They're down by 15%. Hmm. A glitch? A fluke? I don't know, is it? Don't know, is it? I'm just stating facts. Anyway, not that the coronavirus isn't real, because trust, it is. It was definitely engineered. You can thank the nasty little governments that are ruling everybody for that. Nothing like that should exist on this planet. Ever. Those scheming, nasty ones that want to devise all kinds of ugly ways to make people die. Wow. Right? Anyway. So I just wanted to show you that. The bottom of this deck, I forgot to show you all the cards that were coming out and how they came out. Oh, I do have them mixed up a little bit. There we go. World card. Oh, and it goes right above that. All right. Okay, so we're going to do another reading. Yep, we're going to do another one. And I'm probably going to do another. But how do you defeat that? Love. You know there's this, you're aware of the divide. You're aware that that's happening. But being able to negotiate through that narrow passage is important because it's a divine trial. And doing so with grace, love, compassion, something sorely missing, and grace. Grace. You know, it's funny because, well, there's, some church pastors that have fallen for this side of the fence and peer pressure for everybody at their church to get inoculated. They've actually set up inoculation drives at their church so they can peer pressure the rest of the membership. Does that sound like a good thing to do? Peer pressuring others into something they don't want? You're infringing upon their free will. That causes some karma and a whole heaping nasty bunch of karma. It does. The other thing I wanted to mention is during the door-to-door sessions in some areas, they actually had gone to people's doors and had them tell the people that came to the door Well, what about your neighbors? Do you know about this house, this house, this house? Have they gotten their shot? Do you know? And those neighbors actually told them which houses they thought had and hadn't, and which houses they should definitely go visit. Because I'm pretty sure that neighbor didn't get their shot. Here's the thing. Divine trial or divine assistance. Divine trial. It's a test. This is a worldwide issue, not just a civil war kind of thing or a Holocaust. It's a worldwide issue. Let's look at the Holocaust. What did the Germans request from people's families and neighbors? Do you know where the Jews are? They were ratting out their neighbors or family members and handing them over. That was a tiny, minuscule event compared to what's going on now. So, you do-gooders that think you're do-gooders, think again. You're no better than the ones during the Holocaust that brought people to their deaths because of your do-gooder ways. Think about it. Think about it hard, because that's exactly what you're doing. But this is on a grand scale, the likes this planet has never seen. So if you think you're going to turn in your neighbor and not get some karma for that, you're sadly mistaken. This is a time when people are supposed to be coming together. It is a divine test. And if you don't pass that, yikes, that's not good. It's really not good for you. You want your soul to forever be trapped in this hellhole? Seriously? Yeah. I wouldn't. I would definitely not like to come back to this particular plane of existence. For sure. Nope. Not in the current condition. The current state of things? No. Please no. But it can all be turned around simply with love and compassion. The cards even said it. Where was that? Right there. Big old cup of love. And the love between two. Doesn't matter if it's a neighbor, somebody you don't even know. But the protection of love is what stops all of it. One other thing I want to point out. Those of you that don't want the vaccination and your employers or whoever are insisting on it, if the news is correct and it's 50-50, the have and haven't, the haves and have-nots, right? Yeah. If you all stand in your power, that'll bring their business or whatever they're doing to a crashing halt. 50% reduction in work staff in a time when they can't seem to get people to even come to work would be devastating for them. So that's where you have the upper hand. So if you don't cave, I don't know what other mandates or whatever they're going to try to throw at everybody. But if you stand your ground, stand your power, just refuse, then they'll have to fire you or something, right? Then you can collect unemployment and sue them. Because those labor unions and stuff, there's going to be, you think, you've never seen the scale of lawsuits that will happen. You've never seen it. It's going to be on a scale beyond your wildest dreams. Because this is a world issue, not just here. In the U.S., it's everywhere. Yeah. Keep in mind, divine test. Oh, and thank you to the other tarot readers. Goodness, I had to pause for a moment. I sneezed. Oops, I might have corona. No, I don't. I just have allergies beyond your wildest dreams. Yeah. Makes corona look mild. Anyway, so, yeah. The other readers. One reader talked about that they got the same thing, that it was about a divine test, that this was a test of what are we made of? What are we made of? Either side of this fence, doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on, this great divide. Alaska, the Great Divide. Yes, my team has a sense of humor. I've always said Gabriel has a sense of humor, and he does, for sure. But, yeah. Both sides are being tested. Don't forget it. All right. So, and remember, the whole Holocaust thing, it smacks of that. Man, does it ever, when they've got neighbors ratting each other out to the door-to-door people. Yeah. Wow. Really? You do-gooder? They really think they're doing the right thing. They actually think that. And I'm betting that the Germans, the other people that ratted out the Jews, who was Jewish and who wasn't, I bet they thought they were doing the right thing. Or they felt pressured or coerced by the people that came to the door to do it. Either way, you did it. That puts it squarely on your shoulders. Not the people that came to the door for the coercion or the pressure. The one that thought they were doing the right thing. It's right on your shoulders. 100. Yeah. It's funny. If you look at the Bible, it talks about, end times, basically. Like I said, there's a little truth in there. Highly tampered with, but some pieces still, intact. But the thing it talks about is neighbor against neighbor, daughter against mother against daughter, father against son, etc. Brother against brother. That's what we have here. Yeah. That's what's going on. Divine test. Will you pass? Oh, I guess I should make an entirely another video to do this next reading. Because this one's just going back over this and having a frank discussion about what this all means for the collective. The more you stay in your playful, childlike innocence and out of the fray, the better. Some of you can't help but be in the fray because of your jobs or you live in big cities, etc. Yeah. Just hang in there and do the best you can. Like I said, if you refuse to get it and they fire you, that's unemployment, plus you can sue them on top of that. At least here in the U.S. Don't know about everywhere else. A lot of class action lawsuits will be flying. Bank on it. They're already started. There's labor unions going freaking crazy over this. And they should be, because it infringes upon people's freedoms. Right there. Okay? Capiche? Anyway. So, I do hope you guys hang in there. Hang in there. Hang in there, guys. Love and compassion. Yep. Do the best we can to pass the test. Anyway, I will do another video and separate these. I just wanted to go over this and talk to you guys a little more about the reading. And it's very clear what it says. Anyway, tons of love out to you guys. And I hope it radiates out through everybody else. Even the ones that are totally, obviously, asleep. Anyway, take care. Have a good one. More to come.